welcome to the Art of Yarn podcast. Today I'm not continuing the fiber discussion today. Today I want to talk more on the art side because I've been hearing the misuse of the word aesthetic. And it's, as an artist, it's really annoying. So, and art has elitism to it, and we're pompous. You know, we love what we do, and we study aesthetics, and we're passionate about it. So with passion and a deep, research into a subject, you tend to get elitist and pompous because you've worked your ass off for it, right? So, what I've been hearing people use the word aesthetic is to describe a certain design point of view. And I've heard this more on the internet because we all know the internet's great for information. And it describes kind of this pastel-y, geometric, light, kind of that Etsy, that favored design choice of Etsy, the favored design choice on Pinterest, design choice, right? They're design choices, they're one set of agreed upon beauty ideals and beauty choices, and it doesn't describe, and it sets a very narrow point of view of the term aesthetic, which is very broad. Aesthetic is all of beauty, and all of beauty is broad. I have my phone in my hand for my dictionary, but what I consider to be beautiful is different from what other people deem beautiful, because beauty is subjective. So I'm trying to, everything's out of view. So I think my face is beautiful. Other people may not think my face is beautiful. Whatever. Beauty is subjective, right? So, who cares? It's, it's all subjective. So, aesthetic as a noun, and its noun, reading, is the branch of philosophy that deals with the nature of beauty, art, and taste, and with the creation and appreciation of beauty. So artists work with aesthetics. We study aesthetics, we create aesthetic things. That is how, and we communicate through aesthetics. So because we need our communication to be eye-catching, there needs to be a certain amount of beauty in it, because we don't want pure revulsion and shock. It's not as long-lasting as something that may ride both beauty and disgust, or beauty tends to be looked upon longer and sat with longer than things that are just pure shocking and disgusting. Then it's oh, okay, I got it. I don't want to look, it's mm-mm. And that can stay with you, but it may not stay with you in a good way. So So artists are always trying to find and push where that idea of beauty ends and begins, and how we can use it to communicate deep thought, like deep, like socio and economic, like, or political concepts, or maybe it is just the concept of beauty. Maybe it's the concept, so like I deal with psychological concepts of gender and personality and self-expression, which also includes beauty, because you tend to be, oh, I think that is beautiful, where like other people may not. Like goth subculture, like I think that's beautiful. Other people find it revolting and frightening, and so on. And then how do you describe that, right? Yes. It also refers to a particular theory or concept of beauty and art, a particular taste for or approach to what is pleasing to the senses, and especially sight. So modernist aesthetic, that's describing a certain genre in art. So the problem with just describing a certain visual point of view as aesthetic is it's narrowing this very broad term, this global term, into a certain set rules that is bullshit, right? We need to think of, okay, we need to just figure out a better term, which is hard to do when a movement or design is happening, like on it, like in the middle of it, right? It's hard to, when you're in the middle of something, it's hard to figure out where all the edges are. Once you're kind of on the edges of those, it's a much, especially the back edge of it, it's much easier to describe, okay, here's where the edges of this visual, like modernism, here's where it ends and begins, and the general rules of it. So yes, that is my rant on misusing aesthetics. So yes, we'll talk a little bit about knitting, so I don't get, because I could go on, and I think that just gives a better point of view of what the term aesthetic actually is and means. And it's not one design choice. It's about everything beautiful or visual, or more than just visual. It's pleasing to the senses. And that it's a huge topic, and there are books and books on it, and it barely scratches the surface as humans evolve and change, and our ideas of beauty evolve and change. And this is what's so amazing about art. It's so amazing about art and beauty and aesthetics and everything just moving and changing and fluctuating, and you constantly have to be learning, which is great. So knitting wise, I've been busy with work. I've got I'll be having a trunk show on the 24th, I believe. I'll be writing this information below in the description box at Yarnivore. So if you're in the San Diego area, come on by. I've been busy with work, getting stuff dyed up and putting on my new labels, which I love them. I can rainbow order all my bases, which I love rainbow ordering. That's the only organization I'm good at, is rainbow organization. So, and then I've been knitting on some socks that I started a long time ago. I'm doing my first time doing a afterthought heel. So that's orange, is some waste yarn. So, and I've got quite a bit of yarn left, and I'm going to try and knit as much of this as I can in these socks, even though like I live in Houston, like I barely wear socks ever. So, you know, but they're nice mindless knit. And then I've also been working on a sweater. So this is a shoulder. This is one that's been finished for a while. I put this down a couple years ago, and I've started it again. Here's the other shoulder, the left and the right. You can't see my shoulders because I'm always out of view completely. Let me get the pattern. Here's a picture of the shoulders, and that's out of my yarns. Silver crystal and, oh shoot, what's the other one? Time Guardian. So they're both Sailor Moon based. One is the Silver Crystal, Sailor Moon, and Time Guardian is Sailor Pluto. So yeah, that's about that. I'm wanting to put a shorter more condensed podcasts, because I notice that I tend to watch shorter things frequently, even though I might like watch more of them for the same amount of time as like one longer video. But my brain is like, oh, I can digest like 20 minutes. I can't digest like 100 minutes right now. We can't do that. So I'm gonna try that and see how it works. Hopefully I don't babble too much. So yeah, see you next time. I don't know when. I don't know why my voice changed. But allergies. So yeah, bye. Oh, subscribe if you want, like, whatever, you know, YouTube stuff. Bye.